Hi, my dear children. Now we are going to learn about Madam Rides the Bus. It was written by Vallikannan. It is a pseudonym of R.S. Krishnaswamy, Tamil writer, journalist, and translator from Tamil Nadu. He won Sahitya Akademi Award. Madam Rides the Bus has a very simple theme. It talks about the curiosity of children, and the children remain curious until they experience and understand the things how they are. This is a story in a small girl called Valliyamma. Let's read the story. Madam rides the bus. There was a girl named Valliyamma who was called Valli for short. So there was a girl and her name Valliyamma. People used to call Valli for short. She was 8 years old and very curious about things. And what is the meaning of being curious? Someone who wanted to know the more details about certain things. She was 8 years old and she was always want to know about things. Her favorite pastime was standing in the front doorway of her house, watching that was happening in the street outside. And here she spent her time was to stand at front doorway and to look outside. There was nothing else in those days. We have mobile phone, TV, and other entertainment items. We have enough of things to spend time, but in the old days nothing like that. And that time children just go out of house and play with each other. This girl also had nothing for to spend her time, so she used to stand doorway and look outside. There was there were no playmates of her own age on her street, and this was about all she had to do. So she did not have even friends of her own age, and she was alone. Only thing she used to do for to spend time standing doorway for one to know what was happening outside. But for Valli, standing at the front door was very bit as enjoyable as any of the elaborate games other children played. So what happened? She used to stand front door and enjoyed everything, even the games of other children playing. There other children who would be older than her. They used to play a lot of games, and she used to watch them. Here, Valli used to watch the games of other children. And watching the street gave her many new unusual experience. She got a lot of unusual experience while she is standing at doorway. Next paragraph. The most fascinating thing of all was the bus that traveled between her village and the nearest town. So, what was the most interesting thing? A bus used to go travel that she used to watch every day. It was from her village to nearest town. The most interesting thing was to watching the bus passing through in front of her house. It passed through her street each hour, once going to the town and once coming back. So every day, twice she was able to see the bus, once in the morning as it is going to town, and later it was returning. So this is the second time. So every day she get a chance to see the bus twice. The sight of the bus filled each time with a new set of passengers was a source of unending joy for Valli. Here, what was the fascinating about the bus? The bus goes every day. Every day, it have new set of passengers. So this was the interesting thing. She used to watch the bus and its passengers, and she get unending joy for to watch this bus. Next paragraph. Day after day, she watched the bus, and gradually a tiny wish crept into her head and grew there. She wanted to ride on that bus, even if just once. Every day she used to stand at the doorway and looking at the bus. By looking at the bus, every time a small wish growing in her mind. Crept means grow. And that means she had a small wish. What was that wish? She wanted to take a ride on the bus at least once. This wish became stronger and stronger until it was an overwhelming desire. This wish becomes stronger and stronger. What was the overwhelming? What is the meaning of it? Something could not be controlled. Your desire becomes something could not be controlled. Then Valli would stare wistfully at the people who got on or of the bus when it stopped at the street corner. So Valli had desire to climb into that bus and take a ride. Every day she would look wistfully. Wistfully, it means being sad, thinking deeply. Because she wanted to take a ride into that bus, because it means stare wistfully. Stare means look, look wistfully, because her thought was it was possible or not, that she look it wistfully. She used to stand on the doorway and look at the people who used to get in or get outside the bus. Their faces would kindle in her longings, dreams, and hopes. Here, when she looked at them, their faces are like all their dreams, hopes are fulfilled. അതായത് അതിൽ കയറുന്ന ആളുകളുടെ എല്ലാം ഫുൾഫിൽ ചെയ്ത പോലെയാണ് അവരുടെ ഫേസസ് ക്ലീം ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഹിയർ ഷീ യൂസ്ഡ് ടു അഗെയിൻ തിങ്ക് ടു റൈഡ് ദ ബസ്. Then she would also want to go into the bus just like that people. Her dreams would become alive. If one of her friends happened to ride the bus and tried to describe the sights of the town to her, Valli would be too jealous to listen and would shout in English, proud, proud. Here, sometimes friends would climb into the bus and they would take ride and come back and they explain to her about sight what they seen. So she would become very anxious and jealous because they would be able to ride on the bus. So she would shout in English. What she would shout? Proud, proud. Like way she would shout. She would shout. Then neither she nor her friends really understood the meaning of the word, but they used it often as a slang expression of disapproval. Nobody understood what is the meaning of the word proud. Then the people, that is the English word, then the people used to take it as a expression of disapproval. So all that friends and people used to take it as a expression of slang of disapproval. Next paragraph. Over many days and months, Valli listened carefully to conversation between her neighbors and people who regularly used the bus, and she also asked a few discreet questions here and there. Here, Valli always used to listen to people because she had no other works. Other than steering the bus, she often used to listen the conversation of neighbors, people who used to traveled by bus. Sometimes she used to ask few questions. Questions, it is discreet questions. Discreet means careful or clear questions, for to clear her doubts about the bus ride. So by asking lot of questions and talking to people and listening to conversation, Valli used to understand the bus ride because she had a growing desire to ride the bus. This way, she picked up various small details about the bus journey. So she was trying to understand the various details about a bus rider. It is what are the things need to ride the bus, and what is the cost of ticket. Likewise, the distance from the village of town was 6 miles. So the ticket was 30 paise. Ticket cost was 30 paise per one way. If one want to go to town from village, or from village to town, or from town to village, they need a 30 paise. She heard one well dressed man say, but to Valli, who scarcely saw that much money from one month to the next, it seemed a fortune. For them, 30 paise was big money. It is not like our recent time. So, spending 30 paise was difficult for them. She heard this fact from the one well dressed man. It may be neighbor or family friend, whatever it may be, she heard this fact. And she thinks collecting money from this month to this month onwards, and she will get enough money for to take a ride on the bus. The trip to the town took 45 minutes. Here, how much time took from village to town for traveling? 45 minutes. So these are the thing Valli understood. And what are the things? 30 paise need for one way, first one, and second one it took 45 minutes, and third one the town was also 6 miles from the village. On reaching town, if she stayed in her seat and paid another 30 paise, she could return home on the same bus. So, what did Valli understand? If she had 30 paise, she could go to the bus from village to town. വില്ലേജിൽ നിന്ന് ടൗണിലേക്ക് പോകാനുള്ള 30 പൈസ ആണെന്ന് അവൾക്ക് മനസ്സിലായി. ആൻഡ് ഷീ ഹാഡ് അതർ 30 പൈസ she can able to return from town to village. So total cost 60 paise. Then this meant that she could take the 1 o'clock afternoon bus, reach the town at 1:45 and be back home by about 2:45. And so this was the calculation time, because she knew 45 minutes need to reach the town and another 45 minutes need to come back. So she thought that if she take 1 o'clock, she can reach the town at 1:45 p.m. and again can be back home 2:45 p.m. On went her thoughts as she calculated and recalculated, planned and replanned. Here it was her calculation. So she was calculating about all these things, money, time, and she planned and replanned.